What's special about interviews, and why is effective communication so important in an interview situation? Chapter 22, the very last chapter of Breathtaking Communication, Tools and Techniques for Everyday Leaders, tackles this question. What's so special about interviews? Well, everyone who's listening to this, I'm sure, has had an interview of some kind, whether that's a pitch for their very own company or their first interview for a job. In fact, the youngest person I've interviewed or helped with interview techniques has been 10-year-olds who are going for private school interviews and their parents want them to have the competitive edge. I've also helped people with interviews for university and their first job, as well as people in their 40s and 50s who are wanting a career change. So there's always an opportunity to shine and to learn something new when you're going for interviews. I've tried to specialize in this chapter on that which deals with communication that's spoken. There's a lot of people out there and a lot of websites that can help you with the written part. I've covered some of it, but I haven't dwelt on it. I've also tried to make it appealing over time. So even in years to come, when this book is more than a year older in its first year, it's still going to be relevant. I ask you first to identify your outcome. What do you hope to get? And that may be obvious that it's to get the job, but sometimes that's not always the best thing to aim for. And I've explained why. I've given you a list to refer to maximize the experience for you. And I've also asked you to think about the questions you're going to ask. That's quite vital. I then take you through competency questions and the STAR framework. Have you heard of that? And I end with a case study that is someone who got a wonderful job. I think it was during lockdown or maybe 2019. He's no longer in that position, but actually all the skills that he learned for interviews, he was able to use once he got that job and to use it to elevate himself for his next interview. What's lovely about this case study is his parents were paying for the sessions. So I've got, and it was an overseas candidate, I've got his perspective on what he learned, but also his mom has taken the time to write and write about what she experienced as she saw him developing these skills. So hopefully you will learn something from this last chapter, chapter 22. And maybe if it's not you, you can help prepare someone for an interview using the framework that I've given you here and the ideas. If you'd like to have a conversation about this, please reach out. It would be lovely to speak to you. This is not going to be my final video because I've still got the epilogue and the appendices to talk about. And I'll think about whether that needs to take one video or maybe a couple. So I hope you stay tuned and we can have this connection again through your social media channel or YouTube. Thank you for your attention and thank you for taking this journey with me so far.